So, everybody's ready to go. Let's,
We're ready.
Okay, Josh and Andy, we're all ready to go.
Let's do it.
Audience is here.
Sounds great.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Catherine Maloney, Director of Business Development for the Dutchess County Economic Development Corporation, and we are pleased to present this spring webinar series, Building Successful Businesses, which will cover important aspects of your business and its growth. As you know, events like this can't take place without the support of generous sponsors. The sponsors for this series are New York Business Development Corporation, who complements conventional banking by working with banks to provide term loans for businesses in need. Their goal is to be more creative in their underwriting, making it easier to access capital. Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative offering a full array of financial services to meet the needs of their members. MHV strongly advocates the philosophy of people helping people. Strategy Leaders has employed a team-based, systematic process dedicated to helping you get the support you need when you need it. Their system is designed to aid companies over at the owner level as well as in the field and back office. BBG&G Advertising and Public Relations distinguishes itself with the work they do before they do the work. It's their ability to identify your strengths and make them really work for you through marketing materials that speak to your customers. HB Biz covers business news in Rockland, Dutchess, Putnam, Orange, and Ulster counties. HB Biz has received enormous praise for its inviting presentation and coverage of the Hudson Valley's exciting business growth. WG Aquindo Emerging Media, Marketing, and PR helps small businesses integrate social media with the traditional marketing to gain exposure and create new business. In one way or another, all of these sponsors have been instrumental in bringing you this webinar series, and I ask you to support them when you are able. And now I'd like to introduce Andy Gray of Strategy Leaders, who is moderating today's webinar.
Thank you very much, Kathy. It's great to be here, and I'm really excited about this series. Those of you who were able to join us last week, we had a great introductory topic on goal setting and how that sets you up for marketing and sales. And what we're going to do today is we are going to take you through the second in our series. I want to remind everyone that this is a series. We have a wealth of information coming your way. Please be sure to sign up for as many of the events as you can get to, and you can register for these at thinkdutchess.com. In terms of the set webinars, they are happening throughout May on Thursdays, 10:30 to 12. Today's webinar is using social media with Josh Summers, and I've seen this presentation. It's full of meaty, useful information. I'm really looking forward to getting to it. Next week, we have Workforce Development, Understanding Trends and Needs with Frank Sturdy, who is a very, very knowledgeable good presenter, and Succession Planning with Larry Hofelder, which will be our last event in May, the last Thursday of May. And again, I've seen Larry's presentation, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. You can register for all of these at thinkdutchess.com. And in addition to these, we have a live wrap-up event in June, on June 9th, and that is also a Thursday. We will be meeting in person, and the topic will be managing in a changing environment. I will be conducting that education panel, and it will also be an opportunity to meet all of the presenters in person. It will be at Santo Stefano's Winemaking Club from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can, again, register for this at thinkdutchess.com. I'd like to remind everyone that the webinars this month are all for free at no cost. There is a small fee for the event at Santo Stefano's Winemaking Club, a nominal fee, and I hope all of you who are in the region will be able to join us. And before we get started, there are a couple of housekeeping items. First of all, when you logged on to GoToMeeting, you would see a chat box or a question box to answer your questions. If you have questions throughout this presentation, please type them into the chat or question box. You may see that there's an option to raise your hand to verbally ask a question. We are not going to use that option today. So if you have a question, type it into the question box. Kathy will then be letting us know what the questions are as we go along. We'll get to as many of the questions as we have time for, either during the presentation or at the end. We also will have some polling questions during the webinar. Kathy will put the question up on the screen, and you'll be able to select an answer that best represents you. And we're very much looking for the audience feedback on who they are and how they use the tools that we're talking about. Please do register your poll answer quickly so that we can get to the results. We will show the results on the screen, and then Josh will go back into the presentation from there. At the end of this presentation, we will be posting it along with all of the other completed webinars on thinkduchess.com. So please go there in order to tap into the knowledge that we've been sharing with you after the fact. And with that, I would like to get started, and let me see if I can get this to go to the next page. Simone, do you have the controls to move down? I don't seem to be able to move.
Simone's going to hand the controls over to Josh so that he can forward things.
All right, great. So today's topic is using social media. Which platform is best for you? And I'm going to hand it over to Josh, and let's get started with today.
Thanks, Andy, and thank you to Dutchess County Economic Development Corporation for inviting me to participate. Just a brief background, so everyone knows who I am. I'm President and CEO of Focus Media. We're a full-service advertising and public relations firm that specializes in all the touch points a company might need for marketing, such as websites, marketing plans, creative, etc. And just by way of background, some of the individuals and companies we work for, Orange Regional Medical Center, first new hospital in New York in 20 years. We're doing the marketing and branding for that. We work with many financial and banking institutions, such as Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, their financial services division, Alliant, Castro Regional Medical Center, and Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation. So that's a little background on us. And obviously, social media, there's such a thirst to learn how to leverage social media for your business. And the best practices for social media are still evolving, which 3 years from now we'll be marketing very differently than we are today. So we'll be talking a lot about that. I'm actually, Simone, having a tough time getting to the next slide with my controls. If there's a way that could be freed up, that would be great. But this will be informational. One of the things we're going to focus on, we're going to have some polls, and we're also, you can ask some questions that Kathy will ask me, and we look forward to, really engaging in a good dialogue here. I am still having a tough time going to the next slide, hitting the down arrow.
Josh, try the up arrow.
The up arrow? No, it's not working either.
Okay.
How about I try clicking? Now my controls aren't turned on. If everyone just have patience just for a few seconds, we'll get this going here.
Okay.
That's me.
There
I got
we go.
control now. Okay, great. So, to start off the discussion, I think branding has a huge aspect of marketing, and we're actually going to spend just a couple of minutes talking about brands, and then we're going to get right into social media and how that can impact your brand. So these are some brands, Harley Davidson, BMW, and all these brands that are popping up on your screen. They mean something. For example, Tiger Woods, his brand is a lot more than the Nike logo. And with one incident, his brand got drastically impacted. So when we think about a brand, it really takes on a larger definition than just a logo, which many people often make the mistake that I need branding. We get calls like that all the time, and people are talking about they need a logo. But a brand is a lot more than that. In fact, if you look at this definition, it's a collection of perceptions in the mind of the consumer. So in the end, reality may not matter. Your brand is what the perceptions of external people are. So And here's what that means. It makes it clear that the brand's very different than a product or service, that it's an intent